You've been invited to our conscious playground to play, to create, to access your flow, and to charge your inner being's light. Our physical world is full of manifestations, and isn't it fun when you get to go to a space where you get to visualize and share in a non-physical plane, where you can see things differently, remove obstacles, and connect to your highest, most exuberant self? Join Tomas and Lisa in our conscious playground and allow your soul to play. Let awareness, healing, and peace flow in your experience.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our conscious playground with Tomas and Lisa. Thank you for coming to play with us.
Yes, thanks for showing up and playing. And we have some, well, we always do, but the topic today, our theme, our toy, that's what it is. Our toy today that we're bringing onto the playground is more than a word, more than a thing. It might even be bigger than a concept. It's a day, a themed day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have lots of themed days in life, don't we? There's a National Bologna Day. There's a National Hot Dog Bun Eating Day. There's a National Dust Off Your Desktop Day.
Ooh, I might need that reminder. I actually don't mind that day. but
It's today.
Today, yes, what is today? Today, well, actually it was yesterday, but we're talking about it today, is Intuition Day.
Yeah, Intuition Day. All right. So I know that you're listening, you're thinking, okay, what in the world do we mean by Intuition Day? Or maybe you have some really good ideas. But Lisa, you coined this term yesterday. So what do you mean by Intuition Day?
All right. So I won't even go into what intuition itself is to me or what we mostly think, but Intuition Day is a designated day where we get to listen, to tune in. And what I was kind of getting around this day is that, sometimes where you suddenly realize that you're just not getting any messages, like you're just not getting any new food, nothing to snack on and really enjoy, and you kind of go blah. And so Intuition Day is where you get to block all the other stuff off so that you can listen, so you can hear, but you can also ask questions. You can hear what you're needing to tune into in your life, and you get messages. Like it's a whole day of like getting love letters.
Okay. Yeah. A whole day of love letters. Now tell me about the love letters that you received yesterday and in as much detail as you'd like.
You know what? This is the best thing about Intuition Day. You couldn't even transcribe the day. You couldn't, it's not like there might be a few hits. Maybe you're getting some hits in your business. Maybe you're getting some hits in a relationship, or how to help a client, or I don't know, how to organize your room. Maybe you're going to change the furniture around, but it's not transcribable. It's more Intuition Day really recenters you, really puts you back on the frequency that will best serve you. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. That really is it. And you might call it yourself something else. You might call it a mental health day or a break, just a simple
Ooh.
break. We all need them.
Yes. What do you think you would need to play with Intuition Day? What is your setup for Intuition Day?
Yeah, my setup for Intuition Day could consist of a couple of different things, but for me, generally, and I need these guys, I really need these breaks, these Intuition days, mental health days to just listen. I need them quite frequently. So the number one criterion for me is what Lisa and I call sonic space. Oh yeah, sonic space. I need to have space to think, and that usually means I'm by myself. That's the number one criterion for me.
Yes. And you know what? Sonic space, I can, no, I know that I can be. I am interrupted constantly in my sonic space by wind. Like even a windy day, that's how I know. It sounds like, oh, it has to be so specific and the setup has got to be just so, because we can all tune in. But honestly, if you've got so much going on, you've got people talking at you, to you, with you, and there's so many things to do, and you've got your own voice going to let that get this done. You need to do this. You're not going to get it. All these, especially negative stuff, then the wind comes along and you're like, come on, just give me some sonic space here.
Yeah, it really is. For me, that sonic space is so, so important because it's an opportunity to think. It's an opportunity to go deep with myself and my own processing, which I think that we really need. Even if you might think you don't need it, I think you do need it because we all do.
There's something else that I'd like to throw in on Intuition Day is little naps. Like
Mm,
you love naps. How
mhm.
short of a nap can you have? And what is your favorite time for nap? Not just a short one.
Ah, yes. Well, the nap times vary. It depends on the day, of course, but I do love them. This is absolutely correct. You're quite right. A nap is a beautiful thing. I had one yesterday, in fact, and it was about 11 minutes. So
What?
it was very brief. And they're not all that brief, but they can be really short, 5, 10 minutes even, just to close my eyes for a little bit and relax. And sometimes they're an hour, depending.
Yeah, you know what? You said something perfect there. Just even closing your eyes. Like I suddenly, just for a second, I know you guys can't see us, but I closed my eyes and I thought, wow, like, do we even close our eyes if we're not going to sleep? Like, when you just kind of got to close your eyes, it instantly shuts off anything visual. So
Mhm.
you've just created some space for intuition to show up and behind your eyelids. I don't know, like it's just somewhere different that you're not looking at the same thing. Oh, do you find that not boredom, yes, repeated, like looking at the same thing all the time can block intuition?
Um, It might. It might, because I think that what we're talking about here is kind of a pattern interrupt where we change it up a little bit, where we do something slightly different. Or closing your eyes is great because we're visually stimulated all the time. We're bombarded. We pick up our cell phones and scroll. And well, I mean, there might be an audio component to that, but it's primarily visual. We're just bombarded with the visual messages. So that's a great example to just shut your eyes and go within, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And to answer the second part of your question, nap time for me, afternoons. Yes, the best times are typically between 2 and 5 p.m. Una siesta.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
siesta. And
Siesta.
are you just resting, or do you think that when people nap, they are getting messages? Are they listening and hearing things, or is it just that they've stopped the noise that allows it to come in?
Mm. I often get messages when I'm napping, and I think that part of it is stopping the noise, or at least getting it down to a duller, more of a sane volume, even if it doesn't stop. Even just a pause or a reduction of the volume can be really, really helpful. But I get messages um, a lot, all the time when I nap. Sometimes extremely vivid experiences. Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that. Vivid experiences can be, that's intuition too. And you know what's funny, when we're talking about closing our eyes, I was thinking about being on the playground. I thought, yeah, because we close our eyes and count to 10, when that game, and then other people run and hide. And that's so okay. That is such a perfect game to on the playground to represent this, because when we close our eyes and we can count to 10, when we open, we get to look for and find things, people.
Mhm.
But intuition, and sometimes even by closing our eyes, I wonder, because I haven't played this game for so long, I wonder when we were little, when we closed our eyes, because we're quite a bit more intuitive when we're little too, right? I wonder if we were getting like little snapshots, like, oh, I know where Billy's hiding. I'm gonna look there first, kind of like
Oh
we're
yeah.
checking in.
Yeah, we are checking in, and it might be because Billy always hides in the same damn place. I mean, maybe Billy wasn't really getting the concept super well, or maybe there was only one place to hide.
Right? Or he thought, well, she found me there last time, so she's not going to look here again. So there's like that. Now this is fun. We're playing with hide and seek here. This is so interesting how hide and seek really is kind of about intuition. I just thought about that. Like, really, I'm going to start closing my eyes. Not even like, oh, I need to meditate. Oh, I need to have a nap. Oh, I'm just going to literally stand there and close my eyes and invite whoever would like to be found, who I would like to find, to come in and support me and help me. Because why do we all really want to listen to our intuition? Why is it so important to you, Tomas? What does intuition give you?
It gives me clarity. It gives me support, certainty. Yes, clarity, purpose. Yeah, all of those things. And if you're wondering what exactly we mean by intuition, well, I mean, that's one way of describing it is if you're listening to yourself, and it's so needed.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
We sometimes if we don't listen to ourselves for long enough, we will start distrusting or doubting ourselves. And so it's a good practice to listen to yourself more often and more deeply, because I think if you just surface listen to yourself, you could be listening to just the ego's voice, not the intuition, right? Your higher selves. And the more we practice, we can trust it, because the more we tune into the right whatever freak get the right message for us, then we're like, oh, I know what that feels like, and it's going to have a positive outcome.
Yeah, you just you nailed it. It's a feeling, and you just know. I mean, you just know with your intuition. It's knowledge. You just boom, you know.
Yeah. Well, we know when we're afraid of something. We know when
Mm,
something's wrong. We know when something doesn't feel right. So, yeah, the feeling of intuition is more like um, just right direction, like confirmation.
yeah, yeah. It often takes that. It's like getting a tarot reading or some other kind of card reading or something where the answer or what the reading brings forth is confirmation for you. Maybe you didn't learn anything brand new. It's the sense of, oh, I always knew that. So it's confirmation.
Okay, here's something fun. I just
Mm,
thought about this. About you listening and getting a card, and it's confirmation for you, or a message or a feeling, and you're like, I should not go there, but you're walking with somebody else and they're like, I really need to go there. And then you're like, well, who do we listen to? Like, who's right? Do you think, Tomas, that it's a matter of, yes, the person who needs to go there should continue and go there, and the person who shouldn't go there should not go there? Or do you think we should ever listen to somebody else's intuition?
Mm. Well, I know from my own experience, when I listen to someone else's intuition, that often leads to trouble. Why? Because it's not my own. And it doesn't mean that the other person is on a completely different page in that situation than you are. But really, it's for me, the one of the biggest lessons that I've ever had to learn is when I don't trust my own gut. Then that's when trouble ensues and suffering and lack of alignment, low grade frustration, and on and on. You name it.
I had to make, I had to make a face for that one. Low grade
Hmm.
frustration.
Yeah.
Because then what can happen is regret, as you know, or I
Mhm.
should have. Then you're
Yeah.
upset with then you're just in a fight with yourself. And I was like, why? It's so interesting. We talk about intuition and we talk about, being, in spiritual third eye type thing, but then we often say in our guts. And I'm like, why isn't intuition, in like the sacral or the, our
Mm.
tummy area? Or
Oh,
is it?
yeah, I always get solar plexus.
Right.
Really, yeah. That, and I can literally feel it. I can feel if something is not right because that area absolutely contracts, and sometimes I feel like I will want to throw up or get weak. And yeah, it can be quite strong. Yeah.
Somersaults. Right. So this is why this whole thing about having intuition day, I mean, it should happen well, I don't know, it's not a should thing, but if we can be mindful and give it acknowledgement that it's needed.
Yeah, it is needed. And the thing that's really cool about it is we all possess this ability to know. We just know when it's needed. You can feel it. You know when you need it. You know when you need sonic space, even if it's just for a few minutes. You know when you need to flop down on the floor, which I often do, the floor nap, in the sunlight, kind of like a cat. That's really the best. But we all know when we need things like that. So the question then becomes, do we actually honor that?
Yes. Ooh, here's a fun one to bring to the playground. a lot of us, a lot of people will use, we talked about one thing, cards, for intuition. And then some other people, they have crystals, or like what you just said, the sunlight, they, maybe they don't stare at the sun, but, gaze towards it, right?
Mhm.
Or they're in it. Some people need to go for a walk in the forest, or hike in the desert.
Yeah.
Why? That's so interesting. Wonder, is that just our own? We just choose what we know it's from. Why do we feel more intuitive with certain objects, places, people, things?
To me, I feel more at home in those places. Let's take the desert, for example. One of the things that I like to do is, if I need an intuition day, is get in the car and drive out to the desert. And I usually don't have a designed location in mind. It's just the act of being out there and not being in front of the computer, which I am frequently in front of. And we're in front of it right now.
Yes. Well, and what's interesting? I was going to say unplugged, but then I was like, no, because some of us, we do go to our phones or laptop, whatever, we go to the internet to kind of get the intuition going, like to, prime the pump kind of thing. But I love that feeling home. Like, yeah, when you feeling like you're, when you go back home and you haven't been home for a while, you're like, oh, home sweet home. It's like this relief,
Yeah.
this like cozy, everything perfect smell and everything.
Mhm. Yeah. And it also, it frees up space to be able to process it's processing space. And I find often when I'm out on one of these drives, and sometimes for hours and hundreds of miles, a whole day or a half day or something like that, is it's not like I'm free of the telephone at all, but I am able to see things differently because it's the change of scenery, and it's a place where I feel personally very, very expansive, very creative, and there's a sense of limitlessness that I get from the desert because everything is so far away, and the sky is huge and vast, and it's really quite profound.
Yes, I love that. I love that you said change of scenery. I actually practice change of scenery in
Mm.
my own house, and I will share with you how.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
I have an interesting house. This is such an interesting. It has five different entry points. You can go in the house, five different doors, five different ways. And I noticed that say you have a front door, so people go on the other side, or the garage door, or whatever door people do.
Mhm.
Well, I go, even if I know it's the shortest route to get somewhere through one door, I say I even just have to go downstairs. I actually will walk outside around the house, then back in the lower, walkway, because I want to. I want to see something different. I want to go a different way. I want to, well, get the extra steps in, right? Because we have to exercise.
Oh yeah.
But it actually, so sometimes I might see, oh, I wouldn't have known that this tree started blooming, or, or this little squirrel made a cute little nest over there. I don't know. So, you know what I mean? It just in
Yeah.
a different change of view. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, change of scenery, yeah, change of viewpoint. That's one of the reasons why headstand and inversion postures are some of my favorite yoga postures because things look differently.
That's
That's
amazing. Yes. What a great thing to bring to the playground. Just doing, and if you can't do a headstand or handstand, maybe just use the wall, lean up against something,
Mhm.
just to, look, and then open your eyes and go, hee hee. Or, when you used to, this is just a sound thing, you like, uh, say something in front of a fan and it makes you go,
Yeah.
right? And you
Mhm.
think, oh, and just makes you laughter. I think laughter is because it's joy.
Mhm.
Intuition is joyful
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. Yeah, it is because we can feel it, and it's connection, it's joyful, it's happiness. We know that it's true because you just know when you're honoring that and then acting out of it.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And honoring. You don't need to defend your intuition. If if somebody else doesn't agree, that's their intuition, that's fine. And and there's a confidence around intuition, and you sooner or later find out, how it worked out for you. Doesn't mean if it's right or wrong, but you're playing with it, and you're incorporating into your life so that you can make some decisions to act on something or not to act on something, or just to have comfort or peace. And yeah, intuition is used in all areas. Like it's just it's so
Mhm.
valuable to have.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's valuable. And I think that, you'll know if you are able to access it or not. Because if you're not able to access it, then you'll feel like sometimes people feel in a bad relationship or in a bad career situation. They'll just have this low grade sort of angst of a desire to change, yet not necessarily knowing how or when or in what manner, and the frustration. I mean, low grade frustration is a term we used a few minutes ago. That's what pops immediately to mind, and it can be chronic.
Chronic low
Mm,
grade frustration. Okay, if you guys are resonating
yeah.
with that, you need an intuition day. Just
Hmm.
block it off on the calendar, right? You book it. You book those intuition days, and don't worry about setting anything up. Just be in the day. You just got to show up. You just got to show
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. That's all that's required is that you just do it. Yeah. There's nothing that you have to do that's special because what that's going to look like, it's going to vary for every single person out there, right? Some days it might be a drive or it might be just a sleeping in. I don't know. I mean, it could,
Going
it
out
could
the
be,
other door.
yeah, going out the other door, popping into a
Using
headstand,
the other bathroom. Using the bathroom that your guest bathroom, your front hallway guest bathroom.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, instead of your own, because wow, well, things look different. Maybe the light shines differently in there, and boom, you never know while you're using another bathroom what kind of cool ideas might pop into your mind. Maybe the solution to what you've been asking yourself is boom, it's right there as you look at a different bathroom window and use a different flavor of soap,
Yes.
scent of
And
soap,
yeah.
flavor,
Oh,
soapy.
there's so many ways to play with this. I love this. So yeah, so change it up. Get your sonic space, find your thing, book an intuition day. This is what I think. Yeah, we're highly recommending this. This
Mhm.
is
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's so important that you honor yourself. And so many people preach and talk about self-care, but I mean, this is it. This is why it's so important. If you don't know where you're going, then it's hard to get out of your own way.
yeah. So get out of your way. Book an intuition day. Ha ha. It's my slogan.
I like it.
Oh, this is always fun. I love coming to our conscious playground, and we hope that you do too.
Yes, and Lisa and I welcome your questions, your comments. Email is the best way to reach us. And my email is Tomas, Tomas, at tomasgarza.com.
And mine is Lisa at lightonliving.com. Light on living. Light on living.
Yes, light on living.com. In other words, light is properly spelled. Oh my God.
Ah, I
Yeah.
love hearing from you guys.
Love it. Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you. If you have ideas or suggestions for our conscious playground, questions for us, that's the best way to reach us. And we really, really thank you for tuning in here. And we hope that you have a very, very good, deep, and playful day. And if you need an intuition day, then pull out your calendar and book it. We know you can.
I love that. Have a playful day. All right. Thanks, everybody.